Hi, Kyle with Driveline Baseball here. I want to talk a little bit about weighted baseballs. I know it's something we're really well known for on the internet. Our free ebook has had thousands of downloads. You can check that out. The link will be in the description. For some reason you don't have it, it's totally free. It's we've got a lot of attention on it. So I want to talk a little bit about why we use them specifically. There's been a lot of talk on how they increase velocity, arm durability. I want to get into the actual physiological aspects of it. So it's a little technical video we got here today, so bear with me. So it's come to my attention that a very popular baseball coach, one that I really look up to, has stopped using really heavy weighted baseballs. Some of the athletes that train with this coach have told me that they haven't seen the results that they need, or they don't feel that it's adequate or the right thing to do to throw 9, 12-ounce baseballs, or even as heavy as 7 ounces. I'm here to tell you that our guys throw up to 2-pound baseballs from a running start and actual throwing motion. Though the 2-pound is pretty rare. We do mostly partial throws with 2-pound balls. But they will throw anything up to these. These are 11-ounce baseballs right here. They'll throw those at full speed. These are 9-ounce. And a lot of guys disagree with that. They think not necessarily that it's stress on the arm, or too much stress on the arm for whatever reason. They think it's just not effective. Well, I want to talk a little bit about why we use underweight balls and overweight balls, the specific reasons. Overweight balls. So you have 9, 11-ounce ball, and you got a 6-pound ball right here, and then inside this sock, I'm doing some towel drill stuff. You got a 2-pound ball, right? So these are some of the overweight balls we have. We also have 7-ounce balls as well. We have kind of everything. It depends on the athlete, which one's used. Why do we use heavy balls? Okay, so it's a well-known biological fact, or biomechanical fact, that pitchers in games throw with much more intensity than they do in a training facility. There's nothing you can do to change that. When you're trying to get guys out, lower your ERA, get wins for your team, you're going to pitch at a higher intensity. You'll cause much more stress on the arm. That's a well-known fact. You can't get that effect in a training facility, on a mound, in sneakers. It's not going to happen, for guys that throw sufficiently hard anyway. So how do you train like you would in a game while you're in the training facility? So here are two of the biggest issues, right? You're generating, if you have higher arm speed and higher ball velocity in a game, you will generally have much more stress at maximum external rotation and much more stress right as soon as you release the ball at maximum internal rotation while you have the ball in your hand. You cannot adequately replicate those by doing long toss, step behinds, anything, pitching off a flat mound, doing anything like that in a cage. You can't replicate those forces. So what can you do? Or with a 5-ounce ball, I should say. So what can you do? Well, with the heavy balls, what you can do is throw these at the highest intensity you possibly can. Usually the step behind drill tends to be the most effective way to do that. And you're going to get a better stretch at maximum external rotation. The ball velocity will be much less, and the stress at releasing will be much lower because you're much more powerful through rotation because the velocity is so much lower when it's coming out, that you'll get your maximum training effect at maximum external rotation rather than maximum internal rotation. So what's the benefit of that? Well, you're getting a further stretch. Your external rotation will probably increase with a heavier implement, and that stress, that bounce right there, gets trained at a higher level. So the stress in internal rotation may be less, but the stress in external rotation is much higher. So that is how you can train at maximum external rotation or external rotation with a heavy ball. And that's why we do that, to replicate those game forces that you can't get with a standard baseball or with any other training implement. So, got those out of the way. Why would you train with light balls? 3-ounce ball, 4-ounce ball. We also have 2-ounce balls. Why would you train with these? Well, the stretch is the exact opposite. The stretch in maximum external rotation is so much less with a light ball. You can't get that same layback. But the stress at internal rotation is so much higher because the ball velocity is higher. You can approach game speed velocities and much, much higher. Joe Marsh, who recently hit 90 here, as you well know, I'll link the article in the video description, hit 95 multiple times with a 3-ounce ball. He sits about 88, 89 now in games. He's touched 90. So he's got much more force decelerating the ball. So that's why we use light balls. It's actually the complete opposite that most people think. They think you use the light balls for arm speed and the heavy balls for arm strength. It's completely opposite. You use the light balls for arm strength and deceleration, the heavy balls for arm speed to get that maximum external rotation stretch. That's called training, at supramaximal levels, and that's why I would highly recommend people continue training with weighted baseballs, both heavy and light, and not give up on it and focus only on deceleration training, which is all the rage. So, I'll put a link in the description where you can get all these balls, and if you haven't, check out that free ebook online. Put the link in the description as well. Thanks a lot.